Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga by Teresa. I'm Teresa. Sorry it's been a minute. It's been kind of crazy since my girls got out of school. We went out of town and then it's been camps and doctor appointments and 100 things. But I'm back and I'm hoping to give you a fun summertime flow under an hour. So grab what you need. I have 2 blocks and a blanket for my knees. And my yoga mat, of course. If you need water or a towel, feel free to bring that along. And then also pick your favorite music and just kind of flow with that. I am happy to receive donations. The information will be in the description, but my Venmo is Teresa, Teresa, dash my last name, UNDURRAGA. So if you would like to send something along, it is welcome. And that's really it. Let's begin. We're going to start a child's pose. So on top of, being busy and the school year and summer, I also injured myself. So I have arthritis in my right big toe, plus, what is it called? A bone spur in my right big toe, and then I wasn't able to bend my right knee for a long time. Now I can. It kind of resolved itself miraculously on its own. So I'm excited I can do child's pose again. And then it goes without saying that if anything does not feel supportive in our practice today, please don't do it. You can always modify, take a child's pose, or do something else instead. So really listen to your body, because as we age, which is happening to me, things just don't work the same, and we need to be extra mindful of listening to those messages that the body sends. All right, so let's begin in a comfortable child's pose. If your knees are wider, that's going to be more of a hip opener, and if your knees are together, it's going to become more of a lower back stretch. So pick the option that's best suited for you. And start to bring your chest down. Now you're welcome to stack your hands underneath your forehead if that's more supportive. You can also place one block underneath of the chest and the second block maybe one height higher underneath the forehead. And you can also play with the heights to see which one is best suited for your body. Once we arrive, we're going to settle in, relax, let the hips press down towards the heels. Let the shoulders roll down the back body. Just taking a moment to find your center. Noticing the breath. Noticing any tension that might be arising in your body. No judgment, just noticing. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold. Open your mouth and exhale. Breathe in through the nose, hold, and exhale out the mouth. One more time, breathing in through the nose, hold, and exhale out the mouth. Let's take 3 more cycles of breath, just like that, 3-dimensional breathing, but in and out of the nose. Keeping the tongue soft in the mouth. Now let's take 3 final rounds of Dirga Pranayama, 3-part breath on your own, either in and out of the nose, in through the nose and out of the mouth, maybe a combination of the two, whatever supports your practice today. Begin to reach your arms forward, tent your fingertips, creating little spider hands, and let's start to circle the rib cage to the right. Starting to open up the upper chest, finding space through the ribs for 3, 2, 1. Big breath in, and on your exhale, walk your arms over to the right, plant the palms, and then square the shoulders with the floor. Left hand might stack the right. Let the left hip press towards the left heel. Let your shoulders soften. Breathe into the low belly. And then walk your arms forward again. Tend your fingertips. We're back to our little spider hands. And then begin to circle the rib cage to the left. Soft through the elbows. We're making space through the upper chest. For 3, 2, and 1. Walk your arms over to the left side. Right hand might stack on top of the left. Relax the shoulders. Press the right hip towards the right heel. And breathe into the low belly. Good. Now walk your hands forward. Plant the palms. Index fingers point forward. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. It's like a little tabletop. Exhale, hips back to heels. Inhale, shoulders come forward. Exhale, send the hips back. One more time. Bring the shoulders forward again. Bring your knees underneath your hip points. Your feet are pointing to the back, short edge of the mat. Shin bones are parallel. Inhale, drop the belly. Lift your heart, lift your hips. Exhale, round the back, arch into a cat. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round, cat pose. A few more times, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, cow tilt, rounding into cat, and then you're welcome to add any extra movement here. So that could be bending deeper through the elbows, maybe shifting your hips from side to side, maybe finding a barrel roll in the rib cage. In both directions. Maybe you're coming back into a child's pose or circling the torso both ways. So really anything that feels good right here. And then let's bring our knees together, our feet together, and have a seat on our heels coming into hero's pose. Now I like to do this by sitting up on a block or two, and if it doesn't feel comfortable for you to sit this way, sit cross-legged instead. And then one more thing I forgot to announce, which was also keeping me busy. I finally completed my 300-hour yoga teacher training program, which ran for a year and a half, so super exciting because now I am officially a registered yoga teacher 500 hours. So, you know, I had a final test, I had a final presentation, which is known as a practicum, and I did great, and now I have my diploma. So that's also why I wasn't here, but I'm back now. All right, so from our comfortable seat, we want our shoulders over our hips, our low belly in, and our tailbone pointing down. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling. On your exhale, airplane the torso. Bring the forehead down, fingertips to the sky. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, open arm twist to the right, reaching out through the fingertips. Inhale the arms back up to the ears. Exhale, airplane, sweep the torso low. Inhale the arms back up. And on your exhale, take that open arm twist to the left. Inhale back through center. Last time, airplane the torso low. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Bend the right elbow, left arm stretches along the ear. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Bend the left elbow, right arm along ear. Inhale, lift back up. And on your exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest, feel your shoulder blades touch on the back of the body. Breathe in, exhale, round, forearms touch, chin to chest. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. One more time. Open back up, neutral spine, breathe in, exhale, twist torso to the right. Inhale, back through center, exhale, twist torso to the left. Back through center, open your arms to the horizon, flexing at the wrist. Breathe in, exhale, cross, left hand to the right. Bending through the elbow, push that palm away. 3 more, left palm to the right, open back up, last 2. Last 1, open back up, circle the arms back, opening up the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, back through center, breathe in, exhale, right palm presses to the left, and then we open back up. Keep flexing at the wrists. We've got 3 more here. Bending through right elbow. Last one. Good. Circle the arms up, back, and down. Interlock the fingers behind the low back and press your fist to the floor. We want the chin towards the back of the chest, towards the back of the throat, and then bow chin towards chest, and release right ear to right shoulder. Couple breaths, opening up the side of the neck. Breathe in, exhale, semicircle your head over to the other side. Left ear towards left shoulder. And then release chin to chest, inhale, arms up to the ceiling. Make your way back through hands and knees, tabletop. A little bit more warm up and then we'll get started. Send the right leg back. You want the foot in line with the hip. Toes point down to the floor. Extend the left arm along the ear. Left thumb points up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders into their sockets and hug the low belly in. Breathe in, exhale, round, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, and exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Reach back out and pause. Use your next inhale to lift the arm and leg. Release. 2 more pulses. Work in the back side of the body. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, come back to your hands and knees. Left leg back, foot in line with hip, toes point down, right arm along ear, right thumb points up to the ceiling. Breathe in, exhale, round the back, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coil. Open back up. Here we go. Inhale, lift arm and leg. Release. Little pulse up. Little pulse down. Lift. Lower, reach, and release. Walk your hands forward, a palm print or 2. Index fingers continue to point forward. Tuck your toes under. Send your hip points up to the ceiling. Downward facing dog. Hands are outer shoulder distance apart. We're pressing the floor away. Feet are hips distance apart or wider. Start to pedal out through the knees. Bending one knee at a time, letting the shoulders melt down the back, letting the chest release towards the thighs. Keep pedaling as you bring your shoulders over your wrists into a high plank. Notice, I'm still pedaling. Continue the pedal, send your hips back up to the ceiling, downward facing dog, and then hold. Drive your heels down, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Let your hips descend. Keep your toes tucked under, open the chest, hanging cobra. Exhale, hips back up to the ceiling. Downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Release your hips, open your heart. Exhale, back to down dog. One more time, that hanging cobra. Shoulders roll forward, hips lower. Open your heart space, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or lightly float to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms back. Palms face the floor. Lengthen out the crown of the head. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Arms sweep back. Press the pinkies towards each other. Exhale, fold. Last time, half lift. Fingertips reach back. And exhale, fold. Catch opposite elbows. And let's find a little sway in the torso. Maybe you're rocking your hips as well. Keep the knees soft. The toes are spreading wide. Maybe a little lift and lower to the torso here as well. Shake the head yes and shake the head no. 1 more breath. Let the arms release. Bend your knees and slowly roll all the way up to standing mountain pose. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Tailbone points down to the floor. That navel's drawing in towards the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the ears. Exhale, sit into a chair. Good. Big breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms to the right. Back through center, left. Back through center, right. Back through center, left. One more time on each side. In our chair, and then rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hinge at the hips and swan dive into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to high plank position. Shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders. You can always bring the knees down to modify. Inhale, shift your body weight forward. Exhale, bend elbows, chaturanga, all the way down to the belly. Once you arrive on your belly, you want your hands in line with the heart. Tops of the feet press down into the floor. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Inhale, roll up, head arrives last. Exhale, lead with the heart and melt down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. 2 more cobra rolls. Last one, we're going to straighten the arms and stay. Push down into the tops of the feet. Option to lift the knees and hips here, upward facing dog. Press down into your fingerprints. Full breath in. Exhale, tuck the toes under. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, or float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. This time, hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Palms meet overhead, maybe a little back bend, leaning back. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up to your ears. Exhale, sit into a chair. Knees behind toes, squeeze the glutes, tailbone points down to the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half left. Exhale, plant the hands or back in plank. Lower to where you can support your body weight or come down to the belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog. For up dog, your knees and hips are lifted. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Let's meet at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Option to find a standing back bend. And exhale, hands to heart. Good job. We're going to do that one more time. Modified sun salutation A. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, high plank. Chaturanga to where you can support your body weight or come down to the belly. Inhale, back bend of choice. Cobra is my favorite one. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Good job. Take a round of breath in. And a round of breath out. Inhale the right leg to the ceiling. Bend the knee and stack the hip open to the left. Keep a soft bend in the left knee and square the right shoulder in line with the left shoulder. One more breath here. Breathe in, exhale, right knee to nose, shoulders roll forward. Inhale, right heel to the ceiling. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Knee goes wide. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, knee towards nose, step between the hands. Ground your back heel. The feet are in line with the outer edges, the outer hips. And then keep the right knee over the right ankle and circle sweep your arms up to your ears. Warrior one. Tailbone down, hip points up, right hip draws back. Shoulders roll open. Let's take our right hand to our left wrist. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, side bend to the right, opening up the left side of the body. Come back through center. Interlock the fingers of the hands and open the palms away. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in, exhale, guide your arms to the horizon and pause. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, lift. Exhale. over the front ankle. One more breath. Bring your hands onto your blocks on their highest setting. Pivot onto the ball of the left foot and then float the left leg to the ceiling. Arms are straight, spine is long. Think modified warrior 3. Lengthening out the crown of the head. Left toes are pointing down to the floor. Option to float your hands to your heart. Bring your hands back to your blocks. Breathe in, exhale, left knee to nose, round the back. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Exhale, left knee to nose, round. One more time, lengthen out. Modified warrior 3. Exhale, draw the left knee in, round the back. Send the leg back. Lightly release the left foot to the back of the mat and bring your left knee down to the earth. Blocks underneath the shoulders on whichever height feels best in your body. Otherwise, you're on your fingertips. The right knee is over the right ankle. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Toes point up to the sky. Keep the left hip over the left knee. Exhale, bend the knee and let your hips descend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more time. Straighten the leg. Toes point to the ceiling. Exhale, bend the right knee, let your hips come down, and then lower the block that's on its underneath the left shoulder to its lowest setting or directly onto the floor. Open your torso to the right. Right hand to hip, elbow points up to the ceiling, or right arm up to the sky. Roll the shoulders open, lift your chest up and out of the shoulders. And even though the legs don't move here, we're squeezing the right heel towards the left knee and then squeezing the left knee towards the right heel. Last breath in and exhale, release. Set the blocks off to the side. Allow the hands to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee. Right leg back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Let the breath go. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hip open to the right. Soft bend in the right knee, square your shoulders. Push through your fingerprints. Hold, three-legged dog with the hips stacked. Breathe in, exhale, left knee to nose, shoulders roll forward. Inhale, left heel to the ceiling. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, send the knee wide. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee towards nose, step between the hands. And then ground your right heel, right toes are pointing out at a 45-degree angle. Feet are in line with the outer hips. Left knee over left ankle, sweep your arms up to your ears, warrior 1 on the left. Left hip back, tailbone down, hip points to the ceiling, soften the shoulders. Take your left hand to your right wrist. Inhale, reach your right arm up, and on your exhale, lengthen over to the left, opening up the right side body, and then possibly trace your arms further back, behind the ears. Come back through center, interlock the fingers, open the palms to the ceiling. Drop the shoulders, breathe in, exhale, lower arms to the horizon. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stop at the horizon. Press the palms forward, left knee over left ankle. One more breath, strong legs, strong core. Then bring your hands onto your blocks. Pivot onto the ball of the right foot and float the right leg to the ceiling. Modified warrior 3. Spine is long, arms are straight, lengthen out the top of the head. Right toes point down to the floor. And then possibly lifting your hands to your heart space. Return your hands to the floor or to your blocks. Breathe in, exhale round, right knee to nose, coil in. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Exhale, round, knee towards chest. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Leg and spine. Exhale, round, draw it in. Lift the right leg back up. And on your exhale, gently step the right foot to the back of the mat and bring the right knee down to the floor. Walk your blocks or your fingertips underneath your shoulders. The left knee's over the left ankle. Inhale, straighten the left leg, toes point up to the ceiling. Keep the right hip over the right knee. Exhale, bend the knee, let your hips come down. Inhale, straighten. Spread the toes wide as they point up. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale into that half split. Exhale, come back to your low lunge. Lower the block on the right side or hand directly on the yoga mat. Twist your torso open to the left hand to hip, or left arm to the ceiling. Roll both shoulders open. Gaze wherever it feels comfortable to gaze. One more breath in, and exhale, release. Set the blocks off to the side. Allow the hands to frame the left foot. Tuck your right toes under, lift the right knee, left leg back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of choice, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a pause. Bring your knees together, feet together. Let the hips melt towards the heels, child's pose. And then maybe you wrap your arms back. Hands can wrap around the heels or rest outside the legs. Breathe in. Exhale. Reach your arms forward. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, and then allow all 10 toes to point to the long edge of the mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And then that forward fold can be as wide as you'd like. Hands underneath the shoulders, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Reach your arms to the horizon, palms face the floor. Roll the shoulders open. We're pressing through the outer edges of the feet, keeping a soft bend through both knees. Okay, and then the left hand comes over to the right foot, ankle or shin bone, and the right arm reaches to the ceiling. Finding a twist. Okay, bring your arms back to the horizon. Let's go the other way. Right hand to left foot, ankle or shin bone. Left arm reaches to the ceiling. Come back through center, hands under shoulders. Heels will point in, toes will point out. Roll all the way up to goddess. Bring your shoulders over your hips, tailbone down, cactus the arms. Squeeze the knees back. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach your arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, back to goddess with cactus arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. 3 more. Last one. Hold goddess, breathe in. Exhale, side bend to the right. Right elbow towards right thigh. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Come back through center. Twist the torso to the right. Back through center, twist the torso to the left. Back through center, circle your arms back, interlock the fingers with the non-dominant forefinger on top. Press your fist down to the floor. Chin to the back of the throat. Squeeze the knees wide. No, legs are getting tired. One more breath. Hands to thighs. Dip the left shoulder, look over the right. Back through center, dip the right shoulder, look over the left. Back through center, lengthen the torso, hands to heart. Circle your heart to the right. For 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to your hips, circle your hips to the right. For 3, 2, 1. Hands back to heart. We're circling the heart to the left. 3, 2, 1. Hands to hips, circle hips to the left. Keep the low core active. 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, open your arms to the horizon, gaze up, 5-point star. Breathe in, exhale, side bend to the right, left arm along ear. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, side bend to the left, right arm along ear. Back through center, relax the arms, all 10 toes point forward. Cartwheel your arms to the top of the mat, front foot points forward. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot, and then step the front foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, right knee to nose, shoulders roll forward. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee crosses to left elbow. Maybe there's a light tap. Inhale, lift. And exhale, step between the hands. Ground your back heel. We want right heel to left arch alignment in the feet. Keep the front knee over the front ankle. Inhale, rise up and tip back, reverse warrior. Exhale, right forearm to right thigh, left arm along ear, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. One more time, inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle and pause. If you'd like to do a little core challenge, reach the right arm along the ear. Roll the shoulders open. Woo! Keep the front knee over the front ankle. One more breath in, and on your exhale, straighten the right leg. Right hand to shin, ankle, floor, or block. Left arm to the sky. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Relax the shoulders. Okay, let's take that top arm, wrap it behind the low back so the hand can stay on the low back, the right side body, or maybe even the right hip crease. Bring a bend into the right knee. Lift the torso, right arm reaches to the front short edge of the mat. So it's like a half warrior two. Breathe in, exhale, straighten the right leg, reach back, right arm along the ear, reverse triangle, reverse Trikonasana. Breathe in, exhale, bend the right knee, cartwheel the arms forward, pivot onto the ball of the left foot. Right leg might journey back to a three-legged plank, three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, back bend where both feet find the floor. And exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths and then we're moving on. Okay, here we go. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders roll forward. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, left knee crosses and possibly touches the right elbow. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, step between the hands. Ground the right heel, left heel to right arch alignment in the feet. Keep the left knee over the left ankle, and on your next inhale, rise up and tip back, reverse warrior. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm along ear, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle and stay. For that core challenge, you have the option to send the left arm along ear. Open your chest to the right. Keep the left knee over the left ankle. Squeeze the heels towards each other. And then whenever you're ready, straighten the left leg. Left hand to shin, ankle, floor, or block. Right arm extends to the ceiling. Keep squeezing the feet towards each other. And relax the shoulders down the back body. And that top arm, the right arm, can circle back to the low back. Hand can stay on low back. Right, left side body or left hip crease. Open your chest to the right. Bring a bend to the left knee and reach the left arm forward to the horizon, half warrior two. Breathe in on your exhale, straighten the left leg, tip back, left arm along ear, reverse Trikonasana. And then rebend the left knee, cartwheel the arms forward, pivot onto the ball of the right foot, left leg back to 3 or 4-legged plank, 3 or 4-legged chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of choice, and exhale, downward facing dog. High plank pose. Right hand under nose, shift onto the outer edge of the right foot, stack the left leg on top, left arm to the sky, side plank. And then maybe you're floating that top leg, coming into little star pose on its side. Breathe in, exhale, release, we're back in plank. Left hand under nose, shifting onto outer edge of left foot, right leg stacks on top. Right arm reaches for the ceiling. Push the bottom hip into the top hip, and then you have the option of floating the top leg. Inhale fully. Exhale deeply. Come back to your plank pose. Chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Good job. Bring your forehead to center. Reach your arms back. Arms are in line with the hips. Palms face the earth. Okay, we're going to work on locusts. On our next inhale, we're lifting the head, chest, shoulders. Keep the hands down and push the feet down. Inhale and exhale, release. Maybe we're stacking our hands underneath our forehead. Taking a moment to wiggle out the hips, maybe windshield wiper the knees, right to left. Okay, round 2. Legs straighten down the mat, arms come down by your hips. Keep your legs glued to the yoga mat. Inhale, lift the head, chest, shoulders, and arms. Squeeze the pinkies towards each other. Gaze just beyond the tip of the nose. Half locust. And release the forehead down. Wiggle out the hips again. Take a breath or two. Okay, we're coming into the last version. Reach your arms back. Inhale, lift the head, chest, shoulders, arms, and legs. Point the feet back. Draw the big toes towards each other, the pinkies towards each other. One more in-breath, lift a little higher. Good, and exhale, release. Forehead rests on those stacked hands. Wiggle out the hips. Bend the knees, heels towards glutes, circle the legs to the left. And then let's circle the legs to the right. Okay, tuck your toes under, hands under shoulders. We're going to press up into plank, 5 counts. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips up to the ceiling, downward facing dog. And then walk your hands to the back edge of the mat, forward fold. Wrap your arms behind your legs. We're either interlocking fingers, maybe catching opposite elbows. Placing our hands on our calves and then squeezing the elbows in. Giving the hamstrings a little stretch. Bring more weight into the balls of the feet than into the heels. And give the head a little rest. A little shake, yes, and a little shake, no. Relax your arms. Bend your knees, roll up to standing. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Palms meet overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. 3 breaths in mountain pose, Tadasana. Find stillness. Okay, one standing balance. You're welcome to use a wall for support. Hands on hips. We're loading up the right leg, bringing the left ankle over the right quad. Now this is where you might stay. Standing figure 4. Otherwise, we're bringing our hands to our heart, bending into the right knee and sending your hips back. So if you think about cow, cat, those little shapes we did at the start of our practice, this would be the cow tilt, where we drop the belly and send your hips up. And then maybe bringing the elbows to connect with the shin bone, with the knee and the foot. Might feel good to bring your hands down to the floor and fold over the right leg. Coming into a standing pigeon. Okay, and then let's slowly roll back up. Bring the left knee towards the chest. Reach your arms up to the sky. Standing crane, drive down through the right heel. Trace your arms back, big smile. And exhale, release. Shake it out, let it go. Okay, now we're loading up the left leg. Crossing right ankle over left quad. You might be here with the standing figure 4. Or bring your hands to your heart, bend into the left knee, and then remember that cow tilt. Drop the belly and send the sits bones up. And then maybe bringing your elbows to connect with the right leg, or hands down to the floor as you fold over the left leg. Okay, squeeze the low belly in. Slowly rise back up. Right knee towards chest. Arms up to ears. Take up space. Get tall. Smile. Breathe in. And exhale, release. Shake it out. Let it go. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Option to tip back, standing back bend. Exhale, swan dive over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands at the top of the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee, stack the hip open. Shoulders come over wrists. It's a 3-legged plank. Then that right foot might step behind the left leg. Push your hip points to the ceiling, right arm along ear, wild thing. Flipping our dog over. And then let's come back around. Right leg to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Bring the right knee to the right wrist and the right foot over to the left long edge of the mat. Bring your left knee and hips down. I like to use blocks here so I can find a nice long spine and my hips are between my blocks. Standing in your, or sitting in your power, because we're not standing, this is more of a seat. Finding life through the crown. Feeling powerful and confident in pigeon. And then eventually taking our upper body forward. Coming onto our hands. Coming onto our block support. Forearms can rest on the block. Forearms can come down to the floor. You can also rest your forehead on your block. Some people like to stack their hands underneath the forehead. Or reach the arms along the ears and bring the forehead directly down to the earth. One more breath. In through the nose and a long exhale out the mouth. Plant the hands under your shoulders. Tuck your left toes under. Gently transition back to down dog. Give the legs a little pedal, just like what we did at the start of our practice. Continue to pedal as you bring your shoulders over your wrists into a plank. Pedal, 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 and then send your hips back to the ceiling, down dog, and then hold static here. Soft bend in the knees, press your heels down. Okay, we're going to do that same little sequence on the other side. Here we go. Inhale the left leg to the ceiling. Bend the knees, stack the hip open. Shoulders roll over the wrists. Left foot steps behind the right. Flip your dog over, left arm along the ear. Wild thing. And then let's flip back over. Left leg to the ceiling. Left knee to left wrist. Left foot over to the right long edge of the mat. Bring the right knee and hips down. Let the blocks help you. Find length in the spine. Confidence. Breathe in confidence. Power for yourself, for your abilities. And gratitude for showing up, for your body, for your breath. And then eventually leaning the torso forward on palms, on forearms, on forehead, wherever you'd like to go. Breathe in through the nose. Find a luxurious breath out the mouth. Okay, we're going to exit a little bit differently this time. Shift your weight onto your outer left hip. Slowly circle the right leg forward. Plant the feet on the floor. Windshield wiper the knees from right to left. Okay, we're going to take our block on its widest side, right between our shin bones, and then squeeze the shin bones around that block and lean back. Open your heart, open the shoulders. Keep squeezing, option to float the shins here. Bring your hands to your heart, dip the elbows right to left. Working on our obliques. For 3, 2, 1. Open your arms to the right. Find a little pulse in the arms. Arms over to the left. A little pulse here. Arms wide. Little pulse to the sides. Hover. Straighten the legs. We're still squeezing the block. Come back up. Hover. Come back up. Last time, hover. And come all the way down with control, arms along the ears. Find a full body stretch, reaching out in opposite directions. You can set your block off to the side. Then bring the knees towards the chest. Rock a little side to side, massaging low back. Open your arms into a cactus. Bump your hips to the right an inch or two. And release the knees to the left. Supine twist. Right hip is over the left hip. Maybe peeking over your right shoulder. One more breath. Navel to spine. Lift the knees back up and bring your hips to neutral. Now we're going to bump the hips to the left an inch or two and release the knees to the right. Left hip is stacked on top of right hip. Maybe you're gazing over your left shoulder. Press your shoulder blades down into the floor. Low belly in, lift the knees. Bring your hips back to neutral. Final pose, knees wide, soles of the feet point up to the ceiling. Catch the outer edges of the feet. Catch your shin bones or peace fingers around big toes. Press your knees down, your shoulders down, your tailbone down. Happy baby. Maybe there's some rocking here, right to left. You can also play with a half wide straddle, a full wide straddle, a reclined butterfly, any other shapes, maybe a plow pose or a shoulder stand. If there's anything extra your body needs, feel free to take it. And whenever you feel like your practice is complete, bring the soles of the feet to touch. Angle the blocks so that they're on the edges and they support the knees. We're ending in a reclined bound angle, reclined butterfly. Close your eyes and relax. Please take a long shavasana, a long resting pose, at least 5 minutes or longer. And whenever you're ready to end your practice, bring soft movement back into the body. Release the head from shoulder to shoulder. Plant the feet on the floor. Knees point up to the sky. Roll onto your favorite side, resting your head on your bottom arm, coming into a sideline child's pose. Reconnecting with the physical body, your breath, and your mind. Eventually pressing up into a comfortable seat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Let's end with one round of Om. Breathe in. Bow into yourself. Thank yourself for showing up, for expressing gratitude, confidence, and power with me and each other. I bow to the light, and you have a wonderful week. Namaste. Thank you so much.